Okay.
Webinar meeting hosted by IQAC of Nehru Arts and Science College is hereby called to order. First item in the agenda is welcome address. May I request Dr. K.V. Murali, IQAC coordinator of Nehru Arts and Science College, please welcome this history-making occasion, webinar meeting. Over to Dr. K.V. Murali.
Unmute, sir.
Murali, please unmute it. Murali, please unmute your phone and speak.
Right.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Murali, sir. Good afternoon to everybody. And this is the first webinar being conducted by our IQAC of the Nehru Arts and Science College, Kanjengad. And it's actually a part of UGC Paramas scheme. And I think all of you know about the Paramas on value the values. And this program is being chaired by Dr. A. Muralidharan sir, our accreditation ambassador, and he is the formal principal of our college and currently NAC assessor. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. And this webinar is going to be inaugurated by our beloved principal, Dr. T. Vijayan sir. And I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. And today's speaker is Sri V. Bharat sir, an international trainer, and he is also a visiting professor of various universities of Kerala. And I extend a warm welcome on behalf of the IQAC and Nehru Arts and Science College. Welcome you, sir. Our respected manager, Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, could not attend this webinar today. He has conveyed his message to us. Full success to this new venture of IQAC of Nehru Arts and Science College. Now I welcome all the delegates, principals, professors, teachers are joined with us today. And I welcome all the teachers from mentor institutions, mentee institutions, our own institutions, and different students now participating in this. I welcome you all. Over to you, sir. Murali, sir.
Okay, Dr. Murali, for the nice welcome address. Next is presidential address. As already I have spoken, one or two points I want to mention is, as I have already told, this is a history-making occasion for Nehru Arts and Science College, Kanjengad. Notwithstanding the fact that we are going through a very, very difficult situation as we are being locked, we are very happy that our learning activities are not locked down. Today, we are going to have a session on value the values by an excellent trainer, Bharat Das. Education is a social process. Through it, we acquire certain necessary values for living apart from other objectives. But unfortunately, what we achieve through education now is, in inverted comma, overdeveloped minds and underdeveloped hearts. I repeat, overdeveloped minds and underdeveloped hearts. This clearly shows that our education system does not inculcate a value system to our students. This is the background of this webinar, Value the Values, and I hope the faculty will give you tips on inculcating value system to our students. I don't want to prolong. May I call upon our respected principal, Dr. Vijayan, to inaugurate this session. Over to Dr. Vijayan.
Hello. Respected NAC Accreditation Ambassador Dr. Muralidharan sir, IQAC Coordinator Dr. K.V. Murali, resource person of the program, Professor Bharat Das, faculty members of many institutions, and teaching faculties of other institutions, and my dear friends. As you are aware, here the IQAC is organizing a program entitled Value the Values. The resource person of the seminar is Professor Bharat Das. As we know, in the current situation, we are fighting against COVID-19. So it's a time for organizing programs online basis. As we knew, the launching of UGC parameter scheme was already inaugurated by our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Purdue University. Now, this is the second time training class for the Mendi institutions. And we know NAC aims at improving the qualities of educational institutions. And I think this is a great opportunity for the faculty members to learn or to adopt some strategies to improve the quality of education systems. And I wish all success for the program. With your permission, I inaugurate the online class. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. Vijayan, for Principal of Nehru Arts and Science College, for inaugurating this webinar. Next, I move on to introducing our faculty. With your permission, let me share the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, today's faculty is a retired senior manager IT of Kerala Grameen Bank, hailing from Manjeri. He was responsible to implement computerization of the bank in its initial stage. He's an MBA in marketing, PG diploma holder in finance, Bachelor of Education, and a certified associate of Indian Institute of Bankers. He's an Excel graduate, a certified international trainer of Junior Chamber International Institute, USA, Florida. That he has conducted more than 3,000 training programs all over India for corporates makes him one of the most sought after trainers of our state. Its clients include FCRI Palakkad, KCB, Kerala Police, many nationalized banks and other cooperative and urban banks. He's a visiting faculty of University of Calicut and Central University of Kerala for orientation and refresher programs of college teachers. Recognizing his outstanding contributions in the area of training, he was awarded Post Outstanding Trainer Award titled Ravi Puraskar by Junior Chamber International. His service was also recognized by Indian Dental Association and Ayurvedic Doctors Association many times. He's an authority in adult learning and a certified counselor. He has trained and mentored more than 500 trainers all over India. His subject, Will to Win for students, stress management for police officers, team building, and leadership classes are a hit. He's married with advocate Pushpa Kumari, practicing at Manjeri Bar, and the couple is blessed with 2 sons, Rohit and Roshan. Both are IT professionals. With these few words, I introduce a dynamic personality who authored a book on Value the Values. Today's faculty of this webinar, dear V. Bharat. So may I stop sharing the screen? Over to Bharat Das for conducting the session. Floor is handed over to faculty, please.
Good afternoon and welcome to the session. My dear Muralidharan, Dr. Vijayan, and Dr. K.V. Murali, and my dear friends. It's a great pleasure for me to deliberate on a subject called Value the Values. And when Murali sir asked me to do this on a web platform, I have my own reservations. Like I'm not able to interact individually personally, but this is a great honor and a great platform. No TA is involved, no DA is involved, no time is involved, and everybody can. I request all to mute, and then I am trying to mute some of the people, and you are unmuting this. So, for example, Chandrabanu M, please mute, and Shalini M, NG, please mute, because disturbances are there. Okay, good. Thank you. And Galaxy A30, can you again mute? Okay, good. Now on the subject, value the values. This is a subject which has been discussed in many of the forums, not only in colleges but also in corporates. And I had an opportunity to go about the subject, especially when dealing with students in the colleges, and I found that it has a great depth in the subject. And I should tell you the story how I came into this. One of my trainer, one of my guru, as I call him, Sri M.S. Menon. M.S. Menon, during his last month, he is no more. He had scribbled the word value the values, and he wanted to do some project on this, and he wrote only 3 to 4 lines. And after that, he passed away. His daughter passed this piece of paper to me, and it came to me. And the Indian Senior Chamber asked me to do a project on this, and very hesitantly I took off this paper. But I had some connections, some unknown connections with the trainer M.S. Menon. I started researching on this, and then I found it as a depth. It's a highly a subject which is deep. We have to go deep, and somewhere we will find that the value cannot be revealed in 1 to 2 hours. But I will make all my attempts to do this. Now I will start with a simple instance. One of my friend had a chest pain, and he went to a hospital. When he went to his hospital, immediately he was taken into the operation theater, and a lot of doctors examined on him, and his wife was called, and within half an hour, the main doctor said an operation has to be conducted on now. And the wife said, we are not prepared for that. But they said, no, it is a heart operation that has to be done immediately. She tried to bargain some time, but the hospital authorities did not allow. You have to sign the paper and now give the permission for us to do the operation. Very hesitantly, she called her relatives and friends, and they all came and said they wanted to take some time, meet this person, but they did not allow because he was in the ICU. On this line, then they went inside, and my friend was there, and he was asked to fill up the forms. While he was filling up the form, he wrote his name and his profession. And while he was doing this, and the paper was given to the nurse was staring at this, and then immediately she said there smelled some problem, and she went to the doctor first. And doctor, after going through the biodata of the person, immediately said, let me call my senior doctor. And the senior doctor came, and the senior doctor examined him and said, we will have a meeting of the doctors and then decide. And 3 to 4 doctors immediately gathered there, and they discussed, and finally said the operation is not required. You can go home. We will think it little later. And my friend, along with his wife, went to the hospital, and my friend was laughing because he has written his profession as CBI officer, means Central Bank of India officer. And just by seeing that he's a CBI officer, they decided that they will not have the operation. So this is the type of medical ethics we are having. Now another thing is that you go to any office like police station, for example, any other revenue office for the station, even village office for that instance, then you will find a lot of red tape is over there. And more than that, they are dragging these problems, some of the problems which they could have solved. And we always ask, where is the value system? So value system at right now is at stake in government offices. And if you go to even schools, I will tell you the story a little later, we will find that the value systems are eroding. So therefore, it is necessary that we should talk on this. And if you ask me how to solve this, I don't have the solution, but still, I will have to inform you that these are required. Now I will come to my slide. Hope my slides are visible. And if you have any clarifications, you can write in the chat box, and never unmute yourself. Okay. So what are the values basically? What are the values means? Values, perhaps, to if you go for the definition type, we can see values are those principles which a person or an organization stick to in spite of the challenges. For example, telling truth is a value. If a person sticks on to on this value that I will always tell my truth, then there are two things. One, he is believed. His words are taken for granted. Now, if the person says, I will never tell a truth, then the problem is with the person, because he has to remember it. He should have a sharp memory, what he has told already there or not. So telling truth is a value, and therefore this is a value one has to carry. Now there's a story of Scorpio. Buddha and his friends were traveling, and while they were crossing a small river, Buddha saw a scorpion on a stone, and every time the wave comes, the scorpion falls down, and it tries to climb upon the stone, and still it is wet. The next wave it will again go down. So Buddha thought, I will save this fellow. So Buddha went there along with his disciples. He tried to grab the scorpion, but the scorpion did not cooperate with him. It did bite him. So he placed the scorpion on the stone, but he reluctantly he went again and took the scorpion because he wanted to save the scorpion. But whatever it is, 3 to 4 times the scorpion bit on his fingers, and with his pain he carried the scorpion to the other side of the river, and he dropped the scorpion there. And his disciples asked the Buddha, see, Buddha, you know that the scorpion will bite, then why did you save it? It did sting you, and it will even poison you. Then why should you trouble yourself to carry the scorpion to the shore? Buddha said, it is his value. Scorpion only knows to sting people, but my value is different. My value is to save people, save animals, save anything. So that is my value, and that is his value. So this is what the value is all about. Now, if you have some values, you will not compromise on it. So on systems, you will talk against, and there will not be any compromise on the fact, on principles you hold. And even if some of these people are ready to die for it. So values are something which is very important in life, which you stick as if it is your own thing. Is something people stand for. So it should be inspiring to others. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, he had a value system, and he told India, the people of India, that it is possible to get the freedom through peaceful means. And he inspired people because he stuck to it. Now today politicians, people don't believe politicians because what they say and then preach, what they preach and practice are different. But people who have strong values, they inspire others because they show how to do this in their own life. So if values are there, Ramya, you have something to say? Okay, thank you. It should be written down, and it should be as crystal clear to be known to others. So value systems are something like that. Now I have a small video.
On all political issues. So today we'll have a political discussion on rural development bill. Those on my left will speak in favor of the motion, and those on my right will speak against it. And I want proper parliamentary behavior. So let's start. Thank you, Professor. Since 1960, we are trying to pass the bill for the rural development. And the structure of the bill is
meeting. Online meeting.
So this is what is happening in sometimes in the college. While the professor said it should be a proper parliamentary procedure, what the student has seen in the parliament is fighting. So they thought the fighting in the class is called the parliamentary procedure. So what is the value? See, look at the colleges right now. When we professors ponder on this subject, we see a lot of fighting in the colleges, and somewhere we have to find out whether the system has to be revamped. And some questions we have to see. Naturally, the students will have to protest against the evils of the society. But the way of the protest, how Mahatma Gandhi started the Satyagraha and what is now Satyagraha, this is entirely different. So how to have the value system in protest? This is one thing we need to understand. We have colleges where the principal's chair was burnt. We know the colleges where the stabbing and fighting between the students are there. And when we talk on the such of values, how the main problem is how can we implement the value system in the colleges? So the rightful protest on the one side and the political scenario on the other side. So point to ponder is whether politics should be allowed and why politics should be banned. These are some issues. So point to ponder is number one, politics, is it good for the colleges? Should there be political? Two participants raise their hands. Okay. And whether the election should be conducted the way that has been conducted by the political scenario in schools and colleges. Will this do good to the colleges? These are the things we have to ponder. I'm not telling it is good or bad. The religious classes permitted in the schools and the colleges, and does the quota system create an imbalance in this college, or does this tamper the peaceful atmosphere in these colleges? How can we promote a free and fair thinking in our students? And meanwhile, let me tell you, I have been to Netherlands. I have visited few universities and the schools and the colleges there also. I've been to Japan. I have visited a few schools and colleges there. But I have found that the way of their protest is entirely different. They carry slogans, they talk with the police, and they dance and then they protest in public. They give interviews to the press and they disperse. Never I have seen them doing fighting in the streets or fighting with the police or whatever it is. The way the politics are different in foreign countries and universities and the colleges. Now, another point to ponder is how can we prevent violence and then protest? Second thing is whether the ragging, the law against ragging, and even is it can we implement this law of ragging? Ragging is still there in the school. We have found that this year, even the schools, students have beaten, and they're fighting still on the ragging side. And there is a lot of body shaming taking place in the schools and the colleges as part of the ragging. So now I am going to what is the core value and how we can develop this into a vision and mission. Now, from any institutions, this is the main thing. What is our belief system? Now, how we develop our belief system? our belief system is developed by the education we receive from the schools, from the house, from the society. And we have a system which is good or bad. We believe this is the system we have to be followed. And from out of this belief system, we develop what is known as the core value. So individually, the belief system from one person to other person may differ, and therefore the core values of one person to other person may differ, but there can be a little bit of common factor. And you have a core value, then it will lead to what is known as our mission. And if you have a mission, then we will kindly land up with what is known as a vision. So I mean to say that our belief system, from our belief system to core values to our mission statement, is a big fact. Can you unmute, please? Some of the participants are not unmuting. Please unmute. There is a disturbance.
Can everyone unmute?
Someone is working on TV. That's what. Owner is working.
Can everyone mute except the speaker?
So that will be muting all.
I request all the participants.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. So what are the core values? For alignment of values of the in a corporate side, the alignment of the values of an employees with the values of the organization. In schools and colleges, the colleges should have a certain core values, and the teachers and the management should have the alignment with the core values of the organization. For sharing of core values of an organization with the employees of the organization, so that their behavior, action, decision, judgment in running the organization must be in consonance with the value of the shareholders, means the shareholders of the stakeholders of the organization. Now that will lead to what is known as the mission. The mission is the pathway to a vision. We have core values first. From the core values, we develop what is our mission. In colleges, they always develop what is their mission and what is their how they are going on. From basically, we need to have few core values, and the 4 core values we will come to what is mission. And mission is the path to vision, and vision is the ultimate thing. Mission will tell us the purpose of this organization or a company of a person, and explains why the organization exists and provides a sense of meaning for the leadership, the staff, and the stakeholders. So what we are trying to tell is basically the institution should have some core values. From the core values, we have to develop what is known as the mission. And the mission is written in a written format, and that the mission statement should be exhibited in almost all the colleges. And if you have a mission statement, then this mission will lead to what is known as the vision. In mission, the core values are the steps to the vision, and they are the guiding principles of the organization. And those are the attributes which are reflected on the day-to-day interaction with the internal as well as the external stakeholders. So I come to a very confusing state from core value to vision to mission. So it is necessary that every college draft and articulate its vision and mission statement, and then put the core values. So if we do this, then that college has become a professional college that will have a vision, that will have a path to travel, and every action. Then why people ask this question? Why mission? Why vision? Now, suppose if you have a doubt on issues, just refer to your vision and mission. It will give the answer. And then with the core values in the background, you can act. So if you have any doubt on what should be done at this point of time, all that you have to refer is this vision statement and the mission statement. So gives a picture where the organization, the people should go. It's a big exercise, and mostly the college, I think the colleges will be doing it. If you go to corporate hospital, they will be, you'll see this vision and mission statement written. If you go to very good companies, this is the one thing they teach when they recruit a staff. I will give you one very interesting example. Your values. Okay. This is an instance which has taken place in 1995. A photographer called the Kevin Carter. He won the Pulitzer Award in 1994 for taking this photo. It was a historic Sudan war picture, and Kevin Carter was in the team of supplying food to the particular area, particular place, and it was a United Nations organization's affair, and he was a press photographer. And while the plane was taking the food supply to a particular point, his job was to document it, take photos, and send to their headquarters. But once he landed in Sudan, he saw a sight which is unforgettable. There he saw a small girl trying to drag herself into the feeding center, and there was a vulture waiting in. So he went around and took photos, around 20 photos, and with the best angle. So for 20 photos he put it. Meanwhile, the pilot called him, and that way they had to go to the next station. And he ran to the plane, and then he sent this photo to Washington Post. It was a front page photo, and he won the Pulitzer Prize. But what happened is he was given a hero's welcome in most of the meetings, including the press conference. In such a lot of press conferences he attended. But there was one question which haunted him. What was that question? What was that question which haunted him? You can type in the chat box.
What happened to the child after?
Yeah, that's what. Fantastic. The question that was asked is, what happened to the child? And a cartoon was there, like even the vulture would have brought the child water. And what you did? He said, I don't know, because my pilot called and I had to run. I did nothing. But this was haunting him. And after 1 year, he committed suicide. He was committed suicide because his value system was totally attacked. What sort of people asked him, what sort of photographer you are? You have not even given water to that child. You have not taken the water to the feeding. What type of photographer you are? On the contrary, I will now bring you another photograph. You might have seen this photograph of a little child whose name is Pham Thi Kim Phuc. In 1972, where the napalm bomb was tested in Hanoi, in the street of Hanoi, and the small 11-year-old girl with her burned dresses was running on the street. And this photo was taken by Nick Wood, who was there in Calicut about 1 year back. Nick, photographer, also sent this photo into the Washington Post, and he also got Pulitzer Award. Nixon failed to said that this photograph is framed, and he failed to believe this was true. But he got his news that this photograph is true, and he also got the photograph of the girl, and he finally decided to end the war. So simple photo that decided that a decision was made to end the war. Now look at the Nick Wood, who was a photographer. Nick Wood took the girl to the hospital, stayed along with the girl, burning girl, 21 days. She was dressed, she was given food, she was educated, and she was sent to colleges, and she became a doctor. After 40 years, this is the story of Nick Wood and Pham Thi Kim Phuc. Vietnam War on June. The photo was taken on June 8, 1972. Shocking girl, 11-year-old, running naked on the street. And after 40 years, they met. And this was a beautiful sight where she was met, and she fled to Cuba, she got married and she became a doctor, and she was in the service for a quite long time. So what I mean to tell is, what is the difference between Nick Kut and the other photographer? Because Nick Kut had values, he had value systems. So it is important for having a value system in life. If you have a little bit of value system, you become responsible. You become responsible to the values, and all your actions will be responsible with responsibility. So it is necessary that a value system has to be cultured in the colleges, and then if you have the value system, the students will become a models, or they will become a little more responsible. Now, if you compare this with this college atmosphere, I don't know what has happened in government. Some of the government schools, colleges, and schools, we have seen the people addicted to alcohol and whatnot, addicted, the girls and the boys, because they don't have what is known as the responsibility. They are not responsible to their parents. They are not responsible to the college. They are not responsible to anybody. Because I have been to colleges and taking the session on a Sunday. One college I went. Surprisingly, my teacher saw a lot of girls and boys were dancing in the campus, and the teacher unnecessarily asked, "Why you have come to this college? What is your nature of work here?" And they started abusing the teacher, saying that we are practicing for the youth festival, and what business you have? And the teacher was shocked. In how will the teacher ask them to have the value and responsibility? And one college where I know, an engineering college where the ragging is rampant. What they did rampant, what they tried is they brought Madhu for a professional training program for 3 hours, and the management said Madhu Bhaskaran, and there was a drastic change in the behavior of the student. They started becoming responsible. What I mean to tell it is possible. I have been to colleges where I was given an occasion to speak to the first year students along with when the admission was going on, and I find they were all polite and they were all good. But what happens is that it will not last long, and people ask due to why it is not lasting. A training, a motivational training, or a training, or such input is required as we give food. From if you have given food to a person one day, it doesn't mean that he should not be given food another day. You take a training class on some subject like value addition on one day, and we cannot think that it will last for 1 year long. So frequently this type of injection, like soft skill development and then value addition training, has to be given to students on a frequent interval. Then only they will remain responsible. So values make one responsible. You are responsible for your action, and therefore you are responsible for your inaction. So once we understand the principle that you are responsible for the inaction from the above story, we will understand that value system is required, and you become responsible for the value. And if you are responsible, you will succeed in life. Responsible students succeed in life, and responsible students will have the destiny drafted by the responsibility along with the value systems. Now, what are the value systems to be cultivated? So the truthfulness and tactfulness. Here I will come up with another story. The other day I went to school to conduct a training program on value the value again. Then initially I started with a game. The game was like a signature hunting, and I have brought some sweets, chocolates, and said the students who has got the maximum signature, I will give the chocolate. So there was a pandemonium. They run like anything. They got signature. They grabbed signature, and finally they showed me there were 100 signatures, 80 signatures, and 90 signatures. And I asked them to identify who was signed on this paper. They said they are not able to do it. And I asked this question: can you put your hands on your chest, on your heart, and tell these are the things whether you have taken truthfully? Did you, or at any time violate the rule, or did you try to dilute the norms so that you get the prize? And most of the students said, sir, I exchanged the signature. I gave his signature and he gave me. And some of the signatures are made and manufactured, because one was shouting, I will put your signature, like that one. And I then grabbed the student who have got the least number of signatures. And I asked them, how could you get only this much of signature? And they said, sir, we don't believe in getting the signature, whether good or bad. We can identify the name and the person who has given the signature, even though it is number plus. So I gave the trophy to students who have the least number of signatures. And what I found there is, students, in order to win a competition, they are trying all unmeaningful things, whether it is in sports, whether it is in exam. And this has come to stay. You look at the schools and colleges, sometimes we are so much worried what is happening in North India. I found in some of the colleges in North India, the plus 2 students are being instead of the public exam, people from various other places come and write the exam for the original people. And it is so much manipulated in some of the schools and colleges. And we have seen a lot of videos in YouTube and other things. So where is the value system? Where is the value system? So the question is, what is truthfulness and what is tactfulness? So we have to educate on this guideline. What is perseverance and what is patience? What is honesty and what is kindness? These are the values we have to cultivate in the student. What is empathy and what is sympathy? What is responsiveness and what is resilience? And the values like respect and love, give respect and take respect. And how to share love, humanity and humility. The values we have to cultivate on this. Gratitude and goal orientation. What is known as the delayed gratification and what is known as the grit. What is the creativity and rational thinking? And we have to cultivate, whether we have a syllabus for this on cultivating the health and the wealth issues. The other day we went to a jail where we conducted this program. And to my utter shock, I found that some of the college students were there. And I asked them why they were jailed. It is because they were thieves of motorcycles. And some of them were the peddlers of ganja and other narcotics. And at a young age, they are being jailed. Now, what will happen? They will be educated by the tough thugs. And then when they come out of the jail, they will be the best of the thieves. So what happens is that they missed what is known as the value education in the school, and they have become a threat to our society. Now, we all know what Tata is. Tata is known for its quality. The Tata Group, established in 1868 by Jamshedji, has become the Indian multinational coal maker, regarded as one of the most reputable companies in the world. In 2009, the annual survey by the Reputation Institute ranked Tata as the 11th most reputable company in the world. And this is mainly because they have strong culture driven by its values. And it has sustained 145 years and still it is growing. And Tata always says, we develop camaraderie, we develop friendship, we develop team spirit, we develop the best medicine that Tata Institute. We make people play football in the Tata Football Academy. And meanwhile, we also make steel, as if the steel making is their last priority. And Tata is #1 company in India even now because they believe in the values. they believe in the values, and it has been named as the most trustworthy company in 2012. So what are the core values of Tata's? Core values of Tata's are integrity. We must conduct the business fairly with honesty. Transparency. Everything we do should stand the test of time in the public scrutiny. They will never give a single paise as bribe. Understanding. We must be caring, show respect, compassion, humanity of our colleagues and the customers around the world. Also work for the benefit of the communities we serve. Excellence. We must constantly strive to achieve the highest possible standards in our day-to-day life, work life, and the quality of the goods should be extreme. So these are the values, core values of Tata. Unity, they believe in unity. They also believe in what is known as the responsibility. And now I will come to a very interesting case study conducted by an IAM Ahmedabad. It was a Harvard story. I have seen students sitting in the ladies' seat. When mother and child comes, to they refuse to give the seat. I have seen students sitting in the senior citizen seat. They never give it. So how do they do this?
One day.
So I come to now what is known as the okay one. Okay, the case study. Okay, the case study is like this. It was you all know what the famous Taj attack. Video is very slow. That's right. That's why I stopped. Okay. Taj attack in Nariman Point in 2008 November 26th. And there were 10 members of Lashkar Taiba, and they came to Bombay, Mumbai, and they attacked the Taj Hotel, the Chhatrapati Shivaji railway station, as well as the nearest hotel. And around that 174 people were killed, 300 were wounded, and weapons like AK-47 and RDX plastic bombs were used. And they split into three, and one set went into the famous Taj Hotel. And what happened there is, it was a 103-year-old hotel, and 3 nights and 2 days they stepped in. They were there. They tried all the automatic weapons, plastics and other things. There was 600 guests and 600 people. Banquet was going on for the Hindustan Lever. And two persons in charge was Hemant Oberoi and Karbani Singh. They were the general managers. And around 600 staff was working. And unnoticed people, they started bombing, and they were throwing plastic bombs, and they were firing at random. Whomever they see, they started firing. And that situation, how they tackled is a case study now which is being discussed. Now the point here is that Tata chairman Ratan Tata was telling that such an incident was never unexpected. And they were never trained on what to do. Now, the question was that if a bomb is exploded in your classroom or anywhere near you, the first reaction any human being will have is to fight or flight. Means either he will leave the station or then leave this occasion. When the bomb is there, people will leave. That is the first reaction anybody will have. Now, in contrary to this, they found that all the 600 people for 3 nights and 2 days stayed there. They tried to protect all the guests there, and they were speaking to all the rooms, saying that don't open, switch off the light, hide where you are. You can take the food which is available there. Never at any stage don't open it. Even though these terrorists try to blast it, they never opened it, and a heavy casualty was avoided. And around 100 of the guests were taken by the staff there to outside safely, and they found that the people who were taken out, the staff came inside, and it was known to them, and there the biggest casualty occurred. 17 of the staff lost their lives. And it was Sandeep Unnivishan or Malayali who came and saved them. Now the case study is, why did the 600 people stay there? And they were not trained. They were all acting on instinct. And the case study revealed that it is a matter of recruitment. Now, how did they recruit? That is the recruitment policy matters. They went to small towns. They said they went to small towns, not in Bombay, Calcutta, or wherever. They went to Nasik, Chandigarh, and small towns, even Trivandrum they went. And they went to colleges and schools, and they met the teachers and their headmasters and asked only one question: who are the students? Not the grade. The grade didn't matter. They asked only one question: who are the students who respect you, who respect the parents? And their studies were sponsored. They asked only a question: no, grade is no matter for us. Tell me the student who respect you, and tell me the student who respect their parent. We will recruit them. And they recruited only students with the quality called the respect. And they found that these people had the values of Tatas. And if you go to the net, Rohit Deshpande, his net is available in YouTube also, how he compiled this, and they found that people with respect, Tata recruited and they got the job, and they acted on their own. So what I mean to conclude today's, my conclusion is that the value education is required in schools, no doubt. What type of value education can we give, and how can we inculcate the value education in the area of politics, in the area of party politics, in the area of in the arena of our colleges and schools? How can we cultivate this? Now, I have written a book called The Value of the Value book. This contains around 14 modules, and I will try to send you through WhatsApp to Muralidharan. I will send it, and you can share this. I have given around 14 modules which can be implemented through some soft skill trainers. If you implement this, it will be a great help for the students. Finally, I have to conclude that I came up with the ideas, this idea of value education, and it was inaugurated by our Malayalam Vice Chancellor Anil Vellathol, and it was chaired by Kottakkal Ariyavachala General Manager. And when he heard this, he said, Kottakkal Ariyavachala stands for certain values. And he said, Kottakkal Ariyavachala, if they want to produce a medicine with 24 ingredients, and they have got 23 ingredients, and if they had to wait 6 months for the 24th ingredient, they will wait for it. They will never compromise on value. And they sponsored this book, saying that we are there to sponsor an education on value the values. Friends, with these words, I conclude. And if you have any doubt, you can ask, or else if you have any opinion, you can share with us, because this is a very important aspect. In colleges, please give some value education to our students so that we can cultivate a new generation, a new India, a new Kerala, and a student who are worthy enough. Thank you very much, Muralidharan, for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all.
Thank you, Bharatdas, for your excellent presentation. For the last 1 hour, we have been listening to Bharatdas, and this is a time of interaction. So, floor is open to the participants. Participants intend to speak shall unmute the audio, speak, and again mute it. Please. You can even text your questions in the text box. Anybody, please ask some
Sir,
doubts.
Yeah, please.
sir, can you please elaborate what is free and fair thinking?